Hey everyone, I had another thought this week that I want to share with you. And in the Gospels, there's a story of Jesus, and he's there with his disciples, and he's teaching to a large crowd. And there comes a problem. They have not enough food to feed them, and the disciples get a little bit uneasy and say, we need to send them away because if they stay too much longer in a custom, they got to feed them. And there's a lot of people. So the disciples say, just get rid of them, because if not, we're going to have to feed them. And Jesus, that's not his plan. That's not what he's trying to do. And they stay. And all this there is just some fish and a little bit of bread. And Jesus feeds, the Bible tells us, 5,000 people with that little fish, a little bit of fish and a little bit of bread. And it says when they were done, there was more left over. Exceedingly and more abundantly than we can think and imagine, I think the Bible says Jesus would do for us. But here's another thing. The Bible only lists 5,000 men. Doesn't list the women and the children that were there. And here's what I want to say. I think sometimes we can limit God to 5,000. There could have been 10,000. Could have been 15,000. Thousands of people there. And sometimes we limit God to what we think he can do as opposed to what God knows he can do. So today, whatever your problem, whatever your situation is, do not limit God to what he can or cannot do. Do not limit God to the 5,000 because he can feed more. Do not limit God to think that he can't do this, or God, I just asked for this and maybe I can fix the rest. No, do not limit God, because God can do exceedingly more abundantly than we can ever think and imagine in your life. So whatever your problem, your situation is, know that God can do exceedingly and more abundantly than we can think and imagine. Because I've been at that place in my life where I needed God to do something, and I left it in God's hands. I said, God, if this is your plan, this is your worry. And God did exceedingly and more abundantly than I can ever think and imagine. And did it need to be done? No, I didn't need the exceedingly and more abundantly. God does it. God can do exceedingly and more abundantly we can ever think and imagine. So don't limit God to what you just need. Say, God, let you do what you want to do in my life. Here's my need. You fulfill it with your exceedingly and abundant power to do more in my life. So today, use that prayer to pray to God. Say, God, here's my need. Do exceedingly and more abundant things in my life, in my church, in my family, and whatever it may be. Let's not limit God to what we think he can do, because God can do more than we can ever think and imagine than he can do.